Hi everyone, welcome to my channel, Andra Makes. I am super duper excited to share with you a recap of my Make 9 2023 challenge where I sewed a pattern from each of the past 9 decades from the 40s through the 2020s. I did this in 2022 also, and I will put a link to that playlist in the description box if you'd like to check that out. I had so much fun with it in 2022. I decided to do it again in 2023. Still had a ton of fun. If you're familiar with my channel, you already know I love vintage patterns. Now, I do not do costumey vintage. Some people do, that's their jam, they rock it, they look amazing. That's not what I do. I don't want it to look like I'm going to a costume party when I'm wearing a 40s pattern. In fact, most of these garments, I don't think anyone would ever guess that it was a vintage pattern. But the recap, I'm going to go through these pretty quickly. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on them. I have a video dedicated to each of these garments where I go into lots of detail, and I'll put that playlist in the description box also if you'd like to see that. I'll show the pattern envelope and then the garment, and then I'll insert a quick picture of me wearing that, and then at the end of this video I'll do a slideshow counting down the decades. So let's get started. I'm going to start with the 2020 decade, and I made Simplicity S9101. This is from 2020. And I made this view, but I made it straight across. I didn't do the high-low hem. And I also combined this with the Sew Upcycle Challenge that was hosted by Karen from Sew Little Time and Becky from Notes from the Sewing Room, because the fabric I used was a tablecloth. So now I'm going to show you my dress. Here it is. This was once a tablecloth. I really love this burnt orange color. So that's what I made for the 2020 decade. And then for the 2010 to 2020 decade, I made Butterick B6144. This is from 2014. This is marketed as a pajama slash loungewear pattern, but I used non-loungewear fabric to make mine. And I made the long pants, but I did my top with the shorter sleeves, but I made them longer than the shorter sleeves that are on this envelope. And the fabric I used I got from a thrift store, so here is that outfit. Here's the top. It's in this beautiful leaf print. As you can see, not very pajama-ish at all. And here are the pants. And then for the 2000 to 2010 decade, I made Easy Stitch and Save McCall's M4417, and I made View C. This reminds me a lot of the Gilbert top. And the fabric I used is a linen that I got from fabricsstore.com, so here is that top. Here it is, and it looks a little odd because I have it tied like I would wear it, but it looks odd with this hanging down. Obviously, when you're wearing it, you will bunch this up around and then tie it. But there is that. And then for the 90s, I made Easy McCall's 5616. And I did a mashup. I made my skirt as long as I could with the fabric that I had, and then I made long sleeves. And the fabric I used for the bodice and skirt was given to me by my friend Jen from Today in Jen's Sewing Room. And then the fabric I used for the sleeves I had in my stash that was given to me from my sister-in-law. So here is that dress. Here it is. You can see the different fabric for the sleeves. Has a dropped waist, which I love. And then for the 80s, I made Simplicity 9202 View 3. These pants right here, they remind me a lot of the Pietra pants. And the fabric I used for those I got from LA Finch Fabrics. So here are the pants. Love these pockets. I love this color also. It's one of my faves. So there's what I made for the 80s. And then for the groovy 70s, I made Simplicity 8418. I made the maxi length dress with the elastic at the sleeve, at the end of the sleeves. And the fabric I used I got from a thrift store. So here is my dress. And then I added some wooden beads on the end of those ties. Thought that was really fun. And then for the 60s, I made Simplicity 7090. I made basically this view, but I made it shorter, and I added the pockets from this view. And the fabric I used was a sheet that I got from a thrift store. So here is the dress. Love this one with the square neckline and the gathering, and then the pockets. This is so comfy. So that's what I made for the 60s. And then for the 50s, I also combined my Make 9 challenge with a collab I did with my buddy Rochelle from Rochelle Handmade Designs. I'll link her channel in the description box also. It's Simplicity 4047, and it is this jacket right here. And the fabric I used is a tweed fabric that I got from Joann. So here's the jacket. Here it is in this very pretty orange color, and then the fabric I used for the lining is a quilting cotton that I got from Joann also in those fun complementary colors. And it has the pleat in the back. So this is what I made for the 50s. And then for the 40s, I made Simplicity S9464. This pattern was given to me by my sweet friend Tamara, and I made view A. And the fabric I used is a vintage sheet that I got from a thrift store. And there's so many details about this pattern. I love it. It has the gathers at the sleeves, and then it also has a pleat, and then it has the sweetheart neckline, and then the back is square. I love vintage patterns. They have so many gorgeous details. So here is that dress. I love this so much. And I am going to get in close and let you see these buttons. These are vintage buttons that I got from a thrift store also. I had these in my stash when I made this dress, and they were just absolutely perfect. It was meant to be. So there's what I made for the 40s. And now here is a slideshow counting down the decades. I chose and made for my Make 9 2023 challenge. Let me know what you think. Thanks so much for watching. See you next time. Bye!